Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more BattleTech. Okay, well, we have had a very good contract for our first one. No serious damage, only a little bit of armor was taken, and we got paid, which is very nice to not be on the verge of bankruptcy. So, for today's plan of attack, we're going to make some more money, funny enough. We're going to start with this jailbreak. It's a fairly low C-bill payout, but at the end of the day, though, I think it should be fairly good as far as making some money with minimal risk. I then think we'll then maybe shuffle on down to the insurrection interception, and then I think we'll then work our way further through the rest of the one skulls until we end up with this patrol here that looks rather nice for such a payout, but that is also probably the greatest risk. Therefore, we're going to start with the easiest first and make sure that we're making some money. So let's go for all of the money we can. Salvage, it's a negotiable thing, I suppose. Can't do too much about that. Unfortunately, in the last episode, Cheese Goblin did get shot at a little bit too much, so yeah, he's not feeling too good, but I think we'll go ahead and call on in Fimble. We'll go ahead and place him in the... Actually, you know what? I think maybe we put Big Man over there in the Phoenix Hawk? Yeah, that could be an alright way of doing things. Yeah, multi-targeting. He's already got the -1 to indirect fire penalties. Yeah, I think that's actually not a bad way of doing things whatsoever. So let's go ahead and we'll go for that. Let's go ahead and deploy. I think I'm happy with what we've got.
MechWarriors, prepare for combat.
The good news is we are in a polar biome, so this should make things just that little bit cooler. A Phoenix Hawk should have slightly better efficiency, as will our Enforcer, being able to fire that UAC-10 that little bit more, given our better heat sinking. But either way, we'll have to see how that all plays out. I don't know what we're up against, but I'm sure it shouldn't be too terrible, or at least that is what I'm hoping for. Alright, so objective, retrieve the VIP and extract safely. One of our people has been staying in accommodations provided by our friends, the Davian authorities. She's ready to move on, though, and so would like you to go in and pick her up. Her current landlords probably won't let her just leave, however, so expect to settle some arguments. There might be some shooting involved. Okay, so why do pirates always think they need to be so clever about this stuff? It's a standard rescue warp, Commander. Yes, in fact, I would dare say we're helping them escape jail. But who knows? I don't really care about the surrounding circumstances. All that I care about is that we get paid, and we all make it out safely. So, let's let the game load, and then we will jump on in. Alrighty, let's go ahead and begin.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, so what have we got? The target is a facility located here, Commander. Move up and occupy it. Our target will board the occupying mech. You'll need to keep her safe while you head to the extract point. Good hunting, Commander. Okay.
Good to go, Commander.
Should be easily done. We'll either throw her on the Javelin or the Phoenix Hawk, either of which should work out nicely. We do have a bit of an icy walk though, and I don't see us being able to jump anywhere, so let's just get rolling.
Heading out.
We'll try and get everybody
Confirmed.
to follow this road as best as able, and then I guess we'll just see how close together we can stay. Alright, let's move.
Receiving you.
Let's move our heavier mechs
On
first.
my way.
We'll make sure that they're
Moving to
not
position.
catching too much, and then... Oh wow, that technically counts as cover. Huh. The more you know. Alright, well either way, we'll go ahead and we'll shuffle up
On
there.
my way.
Ooh, and we have contact. Hang on a second. All the way up over there. Alright then, well,
I copy.
we'll see how that all plays. Alright, so, looks like
Got
there's
an
a few
unknown
more.
on sensors.
That's okay by me. Let's go ahead and reserve. Again, I'm not particularly concerned about what they can do right now. We've got the firepower if they pop up over the crest. So let's just give that a jiffy. And then let's go...
Yep.
You know what? We really need to move. Let's go with the sprint. Let's get that Vindicator up into position.
Got it.
We'll also then get Tank.
Orders?
Let's get you running on up as well. I think he should do.
Got it.
Again, we need to use this road to get as much movement as possible, I think. They're going to be fairly well trapped unless they've got some really solid jump jets, but there's no way of knowing that just yet.
Good to go.
The Javelin, let's go ahead and we'll put that up in some good cover. That should be alright.
Copy that.
Again, a little bit further back for the less armored, as well as that indirect fire is what we care about.
Yes, Commander.
And then our Phoenix Hawk, let's bring that forwards. And yeah, we should shore ourselves up quite nicely there, I think. In fact, yeah, let's go ahead and we'll stay there.
On my way.
Alright, let's brace and see if anything comes our way. Alright, 3 of them are initiative 4. One of them's already moseyed on up. 1, 3, so that would be at least, what, 1 heavy?
Holding for
Oh,
the
1
right
medium.
opportunity.
Alright, well, we'll see how it all plays out. Let's reserve a little bit further. Do they have any skills like sensor locking? It appears
Yes,
no.
Commander.
So, let's go ahead and get this Vindicator up. Got a good shot here. And I think that's what we'll take, but
Need
let's
something,
just
Chief?
double check with Tank. You could get some eyes on a few targets, in fact all of them if we so wish. We could also then follow up on a couple of extra shots. Okay, hang on. So Enforcer
Waiting
moves
for
here.
orders. What do you need?
Headhunter can move. Yeah, let's move the Vindicator back slightly. We'll go ahead and we'll see what we can shoot
Moving
at.
out.
And then we'll get our Enforcer to step in front and we'll see what we've got. Alright, so they have a Blackjack with AC2s, medium lasers, fairly standard. Commando for some of that scouting. Okay, so this is the big heavy guy. Let's just focus on the main target then. No point in being too concerned. Put some damage on target.
What's up, boss?
Let's follow up with Tank right here and see what remains. We have some very nice percentages.
Heading out.
Alright, so they have a Javelin and... oh, okay, 2 Javelins in support. Alright, well, this should be fairly comfortable. Yeah, look, let's just go ahead and open up with a full salvo. If these things hit, which we do have a good chance of, it's going to be pretty devastating. Also, too, you'll notice that extra 20% heat sinking, making a fair bit of a difference for our firing. Yeah, our firing heat build-up. Alright, well, structure's already exposed. That is ideal.
How's it going?
Let's go ahead and... what do we do? Do we move up? I think maybe we do. Let's just follow up on this Blackjack here. I think that's going to be the best thing for us. And then we'll follow up with our Phoenix Hawk at the end there. Yeah, we've almost taken out the torso, or at least part of the torso as it is.
Firing all left.
Alright, some good structure damage. Jump jets have taken care of.
Critical hit, Commander.
Critical hit, that is very nice. Let's see how that's doing. So, what have we got? Almost took out a leg. Okay.
Standing by.
Let's go ahead and I think we'll use our jump jets just because we do get a nice little damage boost. 90% across the board's pretty good. Go all the way down here. Small lasers are not quite in range. Actually, you know what? That would be pretty solid. That's some very good evasion. We might even just take this thing out in one. You know what? I think we go for it.
Roger that.
Alright, let's go ahead and see what damage we can do.
Firing a full salvo.
Well, it's still kicking by some miracle, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned. We're fairly evasive there, so some light weapon fire is not going to be the be-all and end-all. We could still do that again, and yeah, we'll still be all good.
Hey there.
Alright, Javelin, let's see about this. 75s and 65s. If we were to walk you any closer, would we be able to get better percentages? Yes, we can. Alright, we'll focus in on that Blackjack. Yeah,
Location
we're not too
confirmed.
concerned about the rest, and who knows, we might even knock out a leg. There's some good chances there. Alright, Alright, leg and torso down.
Inflicted heavy damage.
Well, that's half of its weaponry out of commission. 2 injuries, that's most of the way to what we need. Javelin's gonna return fire. Oh, actually, hang on a second. Does that Javelin have no missiles? Huh.
I'm wounded.
Ah. And of course, stray SRM doing some injury. That's annoying. Alright, so what have we got? 4 medium lasers on the Javelin. Okay.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, what to do? Well, let's move on up. I think we'll just focus through again, as I said. We've got some pretty good odds there against that Blackjack. Let's just see what we can get done. Again, minimize what they're capable of. Could go for that center torso for that ammo explosion. Could also maybe go for that leg and get some more salvage. 30% or 70%. Look, you know what? Let's just be done with this. We're not here for the salvage. Let's just get the kill.
Acknowledged.
Or maybe not. Okay. How is it doing? 1 hit point, as it seems to always like to have. Alright, that's irritating. Alright.
Orders?
It is what it is. Let's just bring forwards our... Let's see, if we were to move on up... You know what? Let's just focus in on that on that Blackjack. Let's just take that out of commission. We'll turn off the UAC-10 for now, just so we mitigate some of that heat buildup and take away some of those penalties. Let's go for the kill and get this done with. In fact, yeah, you know what? No, we are firing all 3. I was thinking about maybe firing 2 weapons, but realistically, we don't want this thing to live.
Engaging with target.
I know it's fairly likely that we would have got that, but it's still worth pursuing
Tango down.
nonetheless. Yeah.
What's up, boss?
Alright, Phoenix Hawk, let's go ahead and cause some trouble. Let's get those jump jets moving. And then what have we got here? Javelin with the medium lasers. Oh, actually... Oh, they have 2 of them. Oh, that's right, and they're all the medium laser variant. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll jump behind this fellow because he will hate that the most. Oh, actually, you know what? He is in cover, but he's also entrenched, which I believe he also then gets guarded. I believe that's what that icon is. So maybe we focus in on the other target instead. Yeah, we can avoid his cover there. That should do nicely. Yep, let's just go... Oh, that was walk, not jump. Ah, that's a shame. Alright, well, either way, let's just follow through. Alright, well, what are they doing? Okay, they're now hopping...
They're flanking.
Yep, rear flank there, that's no surprises. And then Fimble.
Ready.
You with your javelin. Could go for melee, but again, I don't know if that's really worth it. Let's go... Actually, let's bring you up here. What have we got? 20%. 20%. Actually, what happens if you just shoot from where you're at? 20% still. Okay. What happened here? Oh, we got hit and... okay. Let's just go ahead and avoid getting shot. I think that would be the best thing for us. We'll protect that right-hand side. So we'll kind of twist our way around. We'll do some indirect fire.
I copy.
If I can avoid structural damage, I may as well. We'll leave this javelin back here. I don't think that we have a huge chance of being able to do any real damage given the armor situation. So let's just focus on the commando. That'll do.
Taking the shot.
Yeah. Something was better than nothing. Alright. More shots on us. That's unfortunate. Structure is exposed. I didn't
I'm under
see
heavy fire.
any structural damage though, but that commando is following up. You know what? That's honestly the right play. I don't blame them for doing that. We did put
Not much
ourselves
armor left in
in
that
a
location.
bit of a funky position.
Orders?
Alright, Phoenix Hawk,
Good to go.
you'll deal with things last. Let's get this Vindicator Oh, sorry again. Pardon the hiccups. Could follow up on that commando there. Could do some decent damage here. Let's see. 75s and 30. 75s and 65. Got some decent shots. 60s and 50s. Where is the... Oh, you know what? That javelin we can probably take out fairly comfortably with the Phoenix Hawk. Let's leave that then. Let's go with the commando. I think that commando could be a bit more of a pain. We'll move on. Actually, you know what? We're not even going to move. We're just going to stand still and target this thing down. It's not in cover.
All weapons are go.
Alright, there goes its torso.
Reporting critical hit.
And let's see, how much is that still living with? Okay, a little bit of damage there, although I believe it's ammunition. Yeah, it's in its right torso, not the left. That's unfortunate.
Standing by.
Alright, let's move this enforcer forwards. Let's move... Fire everything we have and just take this thing out for good. You know what, why not? Yeah, let's just move it on up.
Position confirmed.
Let's get that UAC 10 working for us. 85s across the board. I doubt this thing can live.
One last target.
Alright, so I did admittedly go for obviously an Alpha Strike does kind of guarantee it, but also too, I was somewhat hoping for a straight shot against one of those others.
Receiving you.
But it is what it is. Alright, let's go ahead and, where are you? You are the one with the minimal health left. Let's go ahead and let's jump. This should be more than good enough.
Roger.
I know that they're going to keep on jumping behind us, but that's honestly fine by me. So let's see. 30 points, 20 points, 35. Alpha Strike is going to be more than sufficient. Although, hang on a second, our resolve is 80. Goes up to 95 next turn. Okay, no, it's fine. I was just double checking to see that we weren't going to cap out on resolve. Let's just get this kill. I am somewhat tempted to multi-target, but
Locking in all weapon systems.
you never know.
Mech destroyed.
Alright, bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Looks like the Javelin is moving up to fight the Vindicator. Okay, you know what?
Not much armor left in that location.
Clearly the pilot is panicked, which admittedly I do not
Yes,
blame
ma'am.
him for. He is not exactly in a great situation here. 25s, 30s, you know what? We get better range with the LRMs from here. Alright, let's just move on forwards. And then we'll take the shot. Oh, resolve is at maximum. You know what? No, it's not worth doing just yet. Yeah, no, we can do it. We can do it later. Maybe with a
Commander.
let's see, enforcer. That's gonna make us fairly toasty. Yeah, let's just move up and take the shot. Actually, you know what? What's that right leg? It's the far side, but you know what? We'll go ahead and move into cover. We'll just give him a few things to think about.
Move order received.
And then, unfortunately, we will overheat if we fire off everything, so we'll drop that UAC. We may as well go for a precision strike with the... Oh, you know what? We'll go for a precision strike with the Vindicator instead. This should be good enough, though.
Taking the shot.
Yeah, good old structure exposed. That should do nicely. Oh, and we still have
Ready for orders.
Big Man in the Phoenix Hawk, too.
Orders.
Yeah, look, you know what? Maybe... medium laser. Everything's in the torso, more or less.
Waiting for orders.
You know what? Let's go ahead and let's go for a little bit of a jump. That should be good enough. Actually, you know what? Maybe we could just destroy all of its armor from behind. Actually, we are in a little bit of a danger there of taking a crit to the TTS or a heat sink. We've got no armor in our back, which is a little bit annoying. All right, you know what?
Yeah.
I changed my mind. Let's go ahead and let's move on around. 45s. It's about the same, but it does at least move us forwards. All right, we'll take the shot.
On it.
And then I think we'll go precision strike just so we can knock it down a rung on the next one. And we'll go for the left torso. 50%. I think that's fairly decent. Yeah. I was hoping for an explosion there in the injury, but oh well.
Commander?
You know what? Let's go ahead and we will follow on up. We'll use our jump jets. We'll fire everything that we've got. We should be able to do some pretty solid damage. And then we'll do a precision strike with Fimble on the next one.
Up high.
And that should also, yeah, put him after all of us. So we should get the kill fairly comfortably. Let's just go ahead and, yeah. We're favoring that side. It makes sense just to focus through.
Critical hit, Commander.
Alright, Fimble.
Receiving you.
Let's go ahead and... Honestly, I do like the idea of melee, but I don't think we will. We'll just head on down here. That should be our left side of our torso. 80s, 45s, 75s, and 80. There we go. That's a much more optimal positioning. Yeah, we'll march on up over here. Let's go for the precision strike and not let this guy get a turn. We'll focus in on the other part of the torso just to minimize his potential weaponry.
Firing. Full stealth.
Alright, so this guy can basically kick and that's it.
Critical hit.
No real weapons to speak of. In fact, if we can even unsteady him, we can probably just get
Aye, aye.
what we want. But I think...
Good to go.
You know what? Tank, you need to cool down a little bit. Let's go ahead and come on in with a melee. That should be all that we need. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, CT down. That'll do.
That's a kill.
Heat mitigated. We can take a second to get everybody into position. We'll go ahead and bring... I think we use the javelin to exfil. Yeah, I think that's going to be our plan. We'll sprint on down there. We'll get you over here.
Position confirmed.
Let's get our enforcer towards... Oh, I don't know. Where is this... Where is the exfil going to be? I feel like it's going to be up on the other side here. So let's go... we'll run our way around. Phoenix Hawk will cool. Again, I am somewhat tempted to put our pickup in the Phoenix Hawk just for the extra movement, but I think this should be okay. We'll get the Vindicator up and running.
Move order received.
Enforcer, let's go ahead and we'll work our way around.
On my way.
Yeah, and then we'll move you up over here.
On the move.
Alright, I think that's as good as we could ask. Everyone's nice and chill as far as their mechs are concerned. Let's go ahead and move on in. Alright, got the target on comms, Commander. She's heading out to you now. Excellent. Everybody else... Yeah, we're not going to make it up through there. I think... Let's go ahead and march you up over there.
Moving out.
The Enforcer, let's move you to the other side just to be safe.
Moving to position.
Phoenix Hawk, let's get moving into cover.
Copy that.
Yeah, I would be surprised if this wasn't where we needed to exfil.
In hand, Commander.
Oh,
Good work.
we wiped out the Op 4. No more resistance. Okay, that's nice. That's a bit quicker than I thought. Okay, we could have cleared that up. I was honestly expecting someone to rush in at the last second there and try and prevent us from escaping. I don't know, maybe a couple of vehicles, but it doesn't matter. Oh, hit an objective. Kill the objective Op 4. Okay, well, extra 25%, that'll do. Brings that up to a nice tally. No structural damage here. No structural damage there. That is as thin as we could call it. Unfortunately, tank did take a random SRM to the head. Yeah, not much can be done about that. We did pick up a part of a javelin, which is nice. Some jump jets, which are fairly worthless. We don't really need jump jets, although I guess technically speaking, we can sell them at a later date. It's just not what I would have preferred. Oh well, beggars can't be choosers. Alright, well, you know what? That worked out particularly nicely. Let's go ahead and dive on into the next mission. And, oh, right, we should also go ahead and pick up some upgrades for some of our mechs. That would be rather nice. Alright, sorry, for some of our MechWarriors, not mechs. Alright.
Standing by.
Big man, no dice.
What's the plan?
Cheese Goblin, you're still out.
Waiting for orders.
Thimble, let's go ahead and improve. Let's improve your gunnery. Yeah, base hit chances are always fairly solid.
Training confirmed, Commander.
And then
Commander.
there's not much else we can do. We could bump up some of the tactics, but again, no real benefit for now, so I think we'll just call it as is. That'll have to be nice enough. Alright, let's go ahead and see our contracts yet again. Let's move on to the Insurrection Interception. Making a good amount of money there. It's an assassination, not much salvage. It's in the desert. This should be fine. We'll go ahead and get that done. Let's go ahead and make that money once again and see what we can do. Alright, so tank is out, so maybe... Actually, you know what? Maybe we go ahead and we saddle up for the Enforcer. We've got some decent gunnery skills, which makes the most out of that UAC-10. We've got some good damage reduction, which is very nice. We should have a recoil penalty reduction with that level 5 guts. It might be at level 6, but I think 5 should be sufficient. Yeah, let's go ahead and deploy once again. Yeah, I think that should do nicely.
MechWarriors, prepare for combat.
Alright, and now all that we need is our briefing to pop up. So, given that my game likes to be a little bit slow with the loading, I might just quickly pause the recording until such things pop up. Okay, so we have an objective of destroy the propagandist and escape. For months, we've had trouble with people here in Brockway being riled up by the talk of insurrection, rebellion, independence. Based on top Davian analysts' report, we believe there's pirate propagandists in the area stirring up discontent. We've set up a security net to capture her, but we can't cover every possible exit from our net and could use an extra lance of mechs. If she tries to slip through your assigned territory, turn her unit to slag. Okay, I've negotiated a major bump if we do end up finding the propagandist and eliminating her, as well as danger pay bonus if she has any escorts and we eliminate them as well. Okay, so if we... I'm guessing by that there...
Command interface initiated.
if she has people protecting her, we can get extra pay to take them out too. Alright, Commander, this is the region we've been asked to patrol as part of the net. Our employers need us to keep an eye out for the propaganda agent, as this is one of the possible escape routes she might take. If she's in this region, we need to find her and take her out. Then we can evac. Okay, so extra bonus objective there, destroy supporting enemy forces. It does appear that they're on the far side of the lake. Okay. There's not much we can really do about that. We could try and trudge our way through the water here and pop up that side. We might actually have a better time with some of this rocky terrain and moving over.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, look, I'm not 100% sure. Let's just go ahead and let's move forwards.
Coordinates received.
Let's get this Enforcer up and running as well. We'll hold off for the second with outpacing the rest of our
Aye,
lance. We want to make sure that when we find our target, we can hit hard and we can hit them fast. Make sure that they do not escape.
Move order received.
We've almost had to try and chase someone down before, and that did not go well. Alright, so this is the pirate propagandist. This is the one that we're after. I think we'll send... oh, where can we go? You know what? We'll stay in the rough terrain for now. We will try to cut off that escape route, because I think that way she can move quickest. Realistically, I'll land a weapon up there. But if she does try and zip around this way, we should have some distance on her. Let's bring the javelin... No, front and center.
Moving to position.
And the Phoenix Hawk. Jumping won't get us quite as far. But I think that should be sufficient. Between the water cooling as well, we should be able to jump and chase her down fairly swiftly with the Phoenix Hawk in the worst case scenario. Alright, but either way, we're going to let her come to us. She's in at least a medium mech. We want to figure out which side she's running towards. Because again, if she zigs and we zag, that's not exactly what we want. So let's just see what we can come up with. Alright, where is she going? Okay, she's backing off to the far left-hand side. That's a little annoying. Okay. You know what, though? Should probably have to get up to somewhere like this, and realistically, we might be able to work our way around and shoot her with the long range.
Standing by.
Let's get... Oh, we're slightly outside of position here. That is frustrating. Alright. Let's go ahead and we will sprint. Maybe we can get better eyes on in the future.
Full throttle.
Alright, they've got a Jenna. I guess that makes sense.
What's up, boss?
Phoenix Hawk, let's see about using those jump jets to your advantage. We could pop up over here. I guess they're at least shots on target. It's not like we have to worry about the heat. So... Actually, hang on a second. Could always move the javelin and fire here with the LRM-15 first. And you know what? I think that's what we'll actually go ahead and do. Yeah, that's not going to get changed by much one way or the other. And realistically, I just want to strip away some of that evasion. Let's go ahead and follow this other path that she's traveling. We'll see if we can chase her around, maybe get up here and fire at her. And in the meantime, we'll just put some fire support. Alright, there goes some evasion.
Good to go.
Nothing crazy, but it all does add up. Let's see, how does that impact our odds? Up to 25%. That's
Yes, Commander.
not amazing. Let's move our Vindicator forwards. 35s. Okay, I'm thinking maybe what we do here is...
Receiving you.
Yeah, look, what have we got? 30s, 25s. Yeah, we definitely want we definitely want to do what we can. I doubt we're actually going to do much damage, but I think... Oh, look, you know what? We have sensor lock. That'll be fine. We'll go ahead and we will jump over here. We'll just double check. Yeah, still within range. We'll go ahead and sensor lock. We'll chase down our target. A little bit of heat is not going to cause us issue. But this does mean at least Rannick will have a better chance, and this thing will not be able to target us as easily.
I've got a sensor lock.
Yeah, that's what we're after. Okay, probably should have done that beforehand, but again, still trying to figure out what was going on. Let's pick up the evasion. 50%. That's as good as we could ask for at this stage.
On it.
Let's just go ahead and set fire upon them. Maybe we'll take out some weapons.
All weapons fire.
Alright, well, we did decently. We've stripped the armor of one location. That's a good sign. Looks like they're firing in some LRMs from something. It's either a javelin or maybe a locust. Yeah, my guess would probably be a locust.
Waiting for orders.
Let's see. We could go ahead and move forwards and take shots at there. Could also go ahead and... Oh, actually, you know what? That could work nicely. 35%? You know what? That's good enough, if you ask me. At least we're still working our way to hunt them down and not allow them to leave.
Engaging.
Alright, well, I guess one of them hit. Alright, what's this thing doing? Wow, stray shots. Okay, well, it wasn't exactly a huge amount of damage.
Damage minimal.
I think we'll survive. And who else have they got for fire support? Oh. Okay, they're really focusing on that Phoenix Hawk. I am surprised. Okay, well, that's okay with
Ready
me.
for orders.
Let's get this... Let's get this Enforcer to position. 40% across the board.
Ready for orders.
Oh, look, you know what? Maybe we just hold off for a second. I want to see where they're going. Which direction do they move? They're heading... Okay, they're trying to run away. Okay, that's fine by me. That's fine.
Minimal damage on that hit.
Minimal damage there for Big Man is A-okay. We'll go ahead and... let's
Standing by.
see. Could jump up over here, start getting damage on our primary target, and I think that's maybe not the worst idea. Oh, we could even jump and get free cooling. Yeah, look, you know what? I think that's actually going to be pretty decent, although oh no, we're going to be outside of range for those small lasers. I want full damage if possible. Let's go ahead and we'll jump up over here. That should be fine. What are we dealing with? A Shadow Hawk. Okay, so 2 SRMs, 2 medium lasers, an AC5 and LRM. Alright, let's put some damage on target. 90% across the board is very nice. Let's see what we can do.
Locking.
Primary target damage, Commander.
Alright, AC5 critical. This is nice.
Target's taken a critical hit.
At least that's making it harder for them to do stuff in the future.
Yep.
Alright, let's go. Oh, we seem to be a little bit trapped. Our Enforcer also has to go down. We don't have any way of making our way across. That's unfortunate, but I think...
What do you need?
what do we do here? Well, if we move on down, we could fire a large laser and then maybe an LRM across. Oh no, we won't have options for both. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong, I'd love to take out that thing, but I think...
Aye, aye.
Oh, I'm really not sure what we're going to do here. We don't have the movement that I would prefer to have. We could go ahead and sprint, but again, that doesn't get us particularly far. I think we might have to leave this Shadow Hawk to the Phoenix Hawk. I think that's going to be the way that we do this. We've got the water to our advantage. We're just going to try and focus in on these problems one at a time. Let's go ahead and...
Commander.
40%. 40, 40, and 10. Hang on a second. Let's just double check. Yeah, the Enforcer can go further than the Vindicator, so let's move the Vindicator forwards. We'll put all the damage we can on this thing just so we've got better chances. The LRM we will drop. We'll reduce our heat. There's no point at a 10%. Yeah, that should be fine.
Engaging target.
And then we'll see if we can maybe make the UAC 10 a little more accurate by pinning that thing down. Alright, let's move forwards. Target everything we've got. Our resolve is at 30. We could technically take this thing out with precision shot. Oh, that does boost things up nicely, but I don't think... I think I would rather have the resolve for now. Yeah. 45s, 50s. Yeah, those shots are pathetic. Let's go for the Jenna. And...
All weapons committed.
well, we committed.
The target is retreating, Commander. Eliminate it before it escapes.
Okay, well... I think that thing might... that pilot of that, Jenna... oh, sorry. Oh, that's... yeah, the pilot that we just shot at. You might need a change of pants, but otherwise, yeah. Yeah, the Jenna. Yeah, okay.
What's up, boss?
Alright, Javelin, let's get this up and moving. Let's focus... Medium lasers, LRMs, I think that's the best thing we could do. That's the only spot in which we have full potential there. So let's go ahead and move on across.
Position confirmed.
Again, let's go and see what damage we can do. There is a good chance we could take out part of its torso if we hit the same area twice. No guarantees. But the right arm being taken out is a
Target's
good
taking
start.
critical hit.
Alright, so... Alright, Locust moving on in. No surprises there. Those things move fast. And then... Yeah, the stray shot, not a huge issue there.
I'm showing minor damage.
Alright, so let's just have a quick look again. The denial zone is all the way up here, so in fact we don't even need to chase him down there. We can just let him come to us and we can focus on some of these other issues. Alright, that Jenner is actually a laser boat, of course. I forgot about that. Yeah, much more problematic than the others. Let's get our Vindicator forwards. We'll take our shots. There's no point in not shooting.
On my way.
And again, at the end of the day too, he's got to now come back through this territory. This is going to be fine.
Firing.
Let's see if we can take this thing down a little bit.
Reporting critical hit.
Not the best. Oh, Shadowhawk is going for an interesting outflanking maneuver. We'll go ahead and shuffle forwards yet again. We'll drop off the UAC. We don't really need that right now, but we will definitely put some pain on that Jenner there. Alright, left leg destroyed.
Enemy
Nice.
mech. Critical damage detected.
Alright. And you know what? I'm actually tempted to leave this thing alone for now. It's going to have to come to us. We can regroup over here. We can take out some of its friends.
Waiting for
I
orders.
think this is actually going to be the better way we go about things. So let's go ahead and hit those jump jets. We're going to fly on down over here and start cooling down. We've got a very nice salvo. I think that should be more than enough. Although, yeah, he's our last one to move, so this should be fine.
Lifting off.
Alright, let's see what we can get done. Overheating is possible. Let's drop a medium laser. That's more than enough. And then, yeah, let's just say bye to the Jenner. Off we go. Center torso, 70%. Yeah.
Engaging with target.
MechWarrior. Show them what you got.
Alright, so that's their major damage more or less sorted for now. Locusts are going to have to try something. Alright, so what do we see?
How's
Fimble.
it going?
Let's move. I'm actually somewhat I don't want to leave you out here by yourself, but we're going to go ahead and move this way. Heat's not particularly dangerous. We'll go ahead and... Oh, we can't even split our fire. LRM's at 65. We can get some extra shots on this one. You know what? Sure.
Affirmative.
You may as well take the shot. Yes, it's in cover, but it's a Locust. It hasn't got that much armor.
Roger that.
Alright, well there goes its armor. That building is doing a little bit of some defensive work on our behalf. And how did we do? Yeah, we almost took that thing out.
Receiving you.
Alright, so... Oh, I don't know. Maybe we just go ahead and try and get them to get closer. Although we could always just walk and then just fire our medium lasers. Maybe clean that up. We'll stay nice and cool. Yeah, look, you know what? I think that's the better way to do it.
Location confirmed.
Letting us cool down our mech is not a bad plan. And you know what? We'll go ahead and chuck that medium laser back into the fray.
Got it.
Alright, there goes an arm, torso.
Scored a critical hit.
Yeah, that thing's not going to be doing too much. Alright, let's see. Shadowhawk is moving around. Where can we go? Well, we could line up nicely. Not got too much value though. It's not going to get much better.
Commander.
Let's move our Vindicator. I don't know, how close can we get? 55, 45s, you know what, that's not terrible. Let's go ahead and just work on this main target. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And let's go ahead and chuck on that LRM. Heat neutral, that's fine. It's a good chance of taking out one of the torsos here. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Let her rip.
Alright, well that's
That taste.
one more arm down. That's nice. What does that leave it with? 2 SRM2s and an LRM5, 2 medium lasers with increased chances to hit with those criticals. You know what, at this point, maybe we just go ahead and move as close as we can. And then, yeah, 60 and 65. I think we go for a precision shot here. And we just be done with this. Yeah, resolve is at 70. We're the last one to have a turn. That'll take us down to 40. We'll be over 50% resolve for the next round. Yeah, precision strike is the way to go. Look at that, 80 and 85. That's rather nice. And then where do we go? AC5 and SRM ammo. I think that's what we do. Yeah, take out the SRMs. That's probably going to be the most amount of damage you could possibly do. So let's focus on that. Alright, torso down.
Enemy mech. Critical damage
Hit him hard.
detected.
Alright, so 2 medium lasers is all he really has, and an LRM. That's not really too concerning. That armor damage is minimal. We almost took out one of his legs.
Commander?
You know what? Can we maybe do something about that? We've got some pretty good shots there. 75s, 30s, 85s and 40s. Oh, that's nice. 85 and 40. Yeah, look, I think that's what we do. And we will move about here. That way we don't show our back too easily, so we don't have to worry about armor. We'll have some good percentage shots. Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Coordinates received.
Alright, let's see if we can take this thing down. I know it's not likely that we're going to hit that leg, but at the same time too, this thing's not exactly armored particularly well at this point. Oh, hang on a second. Is there still SRM ammo? Oh, still on the right torso. Oh well.
Targeting for an outstretch.
I thought we had decommissioned some more of their weapons, but I guess I was wrong. Alright, oh look at that. 1 medium laser. So dangerous. Alright, everybody else,
Orders.
let's go ahead and let's bring our UAC, large laser, all the rest to bear. I think that's what we do. Let's take this thing down. We could drop off a little bit of damage, and honestly, I think we drop a medium laser here. We'll keep the UAC 10. It's a 65 to hit. I'm happy with that, and if it strikes, it's more or less a kill.
Engaging target.
And there you have it. Target eliminated. We can clean up those remaining hostiles or head for the evac zone.
Enemy
Hey.
mech destroyed.
Alright, well, good choice there. Let's get everybody else up and running. Who have we got? We have our Phoenix Hawk and
For orders.
our Vindicator. Let's see. 65% across the board. I think we're going to focus it down.
Copy that.
There's very little that this thing can do now, although those percentages are far better. We'll take the one that's in better condition.
Firing. All weapons.
And look at that. Leg, torso,
Solid connection on that one.
knockdown even with cover. Yeah, that thing is lucky to be alive. Not that it's feeling too spry, but it's still alive nonetheless. Look at that, 19 health remaining.
Good to go.
Alright, let's get this Phoenix Hawk up and running. Let's go. Oh, you know what? Can we get eyes on... Oh, no, we can't quite. Okay, I was thinking about maybe we jump jet. but that is fairly far, and I don't know if we're going to get eyes on our target like I would prefer. Yeah, it's one or the other. Could technically jump a little bit further and take multiple shots, but at the same time too, that is a decent... you know what? Stuff it. Let's just go.
Roger that.
What are they going to do? Kick me? It's a locust. So yeah, that thing's practically toast. This thing is practically toast. Let's just go ahead and split our damage. We could technically overheat, so we'll drop off one of the lasers twice, and then yeah, 2 on A, 1 on B. Sure. You know what? That's actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and put you on B, and we'll put the smalls on A. There we have it.
Affirmative.
Oh, look at that. One down, and the other. Not looking any better either. Both legs destroyed. Okay, incapacitated.
One less target.
Oh, that'll do. Well done. We've managed to wipe them out. Can do extract right now. No
Mission
need for
successful.
LZ. Fantastic news. Okay. So, good payout there. Minimal damage, as expected. We can finally start... yeah, we can finally start building up our reserves. Look at that. Another 513. We got the supporting of the enemy forces, as well as... destroyed the pirate propagandist. I guess that's maybe because we managed to kill them instead of having them be incapacitated. Oh well, I'm happy to take the extra bonus nonetheless. Let's go ahead and see. Yep, no injuries, no damage. This is what we want. Heat, salvage assigned. No mechs, of course, because why would they? LRM ammo, heatsink, medium laser. Yeah, well, at least we'll have replacements for if something happens. But again, money is what we were there for, so that is what I care about. Alrighty, well, you know what? I think that's probably about it. I don't think we have... Oh, actually, you know what? We will double check and see if any of our mech pilots can accept any, what do we call them, level ups. But other than that, I think that is a pretty good spot for today. So let's go ahead and we'll just quickly double check our MechWarriors and see how that goes. Big man still somewhat out of it for now. We could go for that recoil penalty just to make him a little bit more versatile, but I think we'll hold off for now. Cheese Goblin's
order.
still out for
Standing by.
now. Thimbles, 1720, okay. We could go for tactics. Actually, that minimum range penalty could be nice to reduce. Ooh. Yeah, look, actually, you know what? At the moment, you seem to be in our javelin, and I think minimizing that minimum range penalty will mean that we get those medium lasers on point and do more damage overall. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll give you that. I think that should be a nice choice.
Training confirmed, Commander.
As for everybody else, let's see. I think we still hold out for maybe the next level of tactics. The overheat threshold, it could be nice, but for now we'll go ahead and wait. And that should be... That's everybody. Okay, so that's where we'll call things for today. We'll come back with some more contracts in the next one. Yeah, and we should hopefully make some very decent money. So if you do want to see that, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning into the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.